This is SoundOff 60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show. SoundOff 60 is presented by Merchants and Farmers Bank, where your future is our history. Also presented by Walk-Ons Bistro and Bar, home of SoundOff 60. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Welcome to the big show. We got a lot to cover this week. It'll be Fast and Furious without Vin Diesel. That's my weekly movie little trivia jump in there. Vin Diesel. Fast and Furious. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us. That is Guidry on the far end, Hobbs in the middle. Sarah
Not having a good day.
You are. Oh, you're having a good week.
Week. It's been bad after Saturday.
Bring the blood pressure down.
It's been downhill after Saturday.
Bring the blood pressure down. Hopefully you'll stick with us for the full 30-minute or 60-minute show, whichever you are watching. Hey, want to remind you, you can catch the show anywhere, anytime on YouTube. We're back up and running on YouTube. There's a couple of weeks. We'll call it hurricane.
Yeah.
Another ripple effect of the hurricane. Yeah. YouTube on CBS Lake Charles.tv, not .com, .tv. Okay. CBS Lake Charles.tv, TV. The show will be on YouTube. You catch it anytime. Just stream it, and you got the show.
They definitely want to watch this one.
Oh, boy. We need an hour and a half. Something tells me we need an hour and a half.
Definitely tune in for this one.
Hope everybody got out to the polls and voted.
Yeah.
Okay? By now, we're caught up in the election results early in the week. Hopefully you got out, either voted early or voted on Election Day Tuesday.
I voted already.
I did too. I went out early. I invested 90 minutes.
The day of is going to be
When did that
tight.
become such a thing?
I think it's COVID related.
Well, yeah,
I guess.
You know, get out early. I think it's been I heard somewhere report a record 100 million cast their votes.
It's been elections 100 million.
And that's partly because people don't want to distance the day of because, you know, it's always crowded the day of. So if you can get it done before that, get it done.
Love it.
Get it done.
It wasn't exactly deserted when I went.
No, no, not at all. All right, it'll be an interesting week.
45 minutes.
It'll be an interesting political week, and it'll be an interesting show. Let's get it started.
Let's get
do
it
some
Started.
Fast and
We're
Furious.
not talking politics.
No, we're not. I'm saying it'll be an interesting politic week.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna okay. Some rifle questions here. You know, can this LSU team? We know what happened. Can this LSU team bounce back, get a winning record, or get bowl eligible, and keep in mind with the 5 games.
Right now.
Yeah, with the NCAA. With the 5 teams remaining, 3 of the opponents are still ranked in the top 10. That would be Alabama. We know more on that.
We're not going to talk about Alabama right now. Okay.
I say they can. I say they can. Winning record.
I say they can.
Can we take your temperature?
I say they can with the exception. Somebody's got to make a move on defense. I don't know what's going on there, but Bo Pelini right now, we're looking at something that's not supposed to be happening.
That's for the longer part. Are you still? No. You're saying 500 or below?
I think 500 would be a miracle.
I don't.
Wow. Okay. I think they can get to the 6 wins. All right. That's my stance on it.
You have looked at the schedule.
Yeah.
I have looked at the schedule.
2 games that's questionable right now. You know what those 2 are. Yeah. It's
2?
Alabama. I'm looking at 2.
Well,
if they get the defense together, Scooter, we're not a bad team. They got to learn to play together.
Speaking of that,
that's the problem.
No question.
Take both of y'all's temperature.
No question.
I feel like I'm in danger.
I'm an optimist.
We've got some talent.
Miles Brennan is the starting quarterback. I told you guys last week.
Wait a minute.
To tap the brakes on the freshman, right?
Do you think that Miles would have done any different in that game?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't.
Maybe not the turnovers.
Let me tell you.
But he wouldn't have had much more luck with no running.
Thank you, Scooter. No running game, Rick. You got to fix that. The defense is going to play for pass if you can't run. We got you locked down.
Bo Pelini. Will he last a year?
I don't see it. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
I think
I don't see
will
it.
last a year. You know, there's
Scooter always gives the.
Well, I don't get emotionally involved like you do.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see. You know, there's something else in play here. You're talking about a $2 million assistant coach.
Money.
Everybody in the LSU, they had to lay off people. You imagine that? LSU athletic department laying off people.
I know what you're saying.
Coaches, everybody taking a cut. Coaches taking a big cut.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as simple as just getting mad at somebody and paying them to leave.
You got a good point. You fire Pelini, gentlemen, and all of a sudden you're throwing in every white towel you have for the year.
But the thing
is, you really are. You can't do that.
It needs to be a discussion had with him. Because
I'm sure
it seems to be the continuation of week by week as to what's going on. And we're going to get into it later on in the show. But, Rick, it's simple as this, Rick. Play the defenses to the ability of the players that you have.
Okay.
That's
hold
it.
Hold that. You
it.
were so ready to go with all that.
Let me continue with the fast and furious here. Let's get on the Saints. Trade deadline early in the week. I thought they would make a move, and they announced it early in the week.
Yeah.
They did make a move. Quan Alexander, former LSU linebacker.
You said they may not draft LSU players, but they will.
They
will trade
him.
They will trade for him.
It's been a long time.
Quan Alexander was a hell of a player at LSU.
He was.
And has had a really good NFL career when he's healthy.
When he's healthy.
You're right,
That has
Scooter.
been his only
He's
problem.
had
good speed.
I think he's hurt right now. I don't know how. I think obviously it wouldn't be but another week or two. But I know, he's had a sprained ankle.
The NFL is not going to let you keep winning each week by 3 points. I'm just want to put
I'm
that
with
out
you.
there.
We're walking that
It's not going to
tightrope
keep
here.
happening.
Staying on the Saints. Guys, I'm hoping it's a hamstring and the high ankle sprain. I'm hoping there's not anything more drama related with Michael Thomas.
Something's not right, Rick.
It could be the hamstring.
I think it is the hamstring's the reason he's not played. Now, was there more drama involved? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Scooter.
But that's not
C.J.
why
Garner
he's not
Johnson.
playing.
Yeah.
We're going to get on the C.J. Garner Johnson
It's something going on.
He's got a little bit of edge now, apparently. This number 22 DB for the Saints that Thomas punched during a practice.
Yeah.
Apparently, he likes to do some trash talking, maybe
Yes, he
even
does.
at practice.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we're all right that Thomas is
I'm
just
hoping
an
so,
injury.
too, because he's a
All
big
right,
part of
that's
that
a
team.
little bit of fast and furious.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're going to
Much more.
a deep dive on the LSU Tigers, even with all the faults and the flaws.
You going to have anything to say?
I'll bring it down some, Scooter.
The Tigers are going to be in our crosshairs in about 2. We're coming right back to the CBS studio. Stay right there.
SoundOff 60 is brought to you by Walk-Ons, Bistro and Bar, where great food, your sports, and good times roll. Stay here. The boys will be right back.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-On.
SoundOff 60 presented to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer, still 96 calories, 3.2 carbs, the original, always designated driver. All right, a near record loss for the LSU Tigers, 48-11 to the Auburn Tigers. What is it? The worst loss since '96.
You say that kind of sarcastically, Mr.
It's not
Sarah.
sarcastic. The largest margin of victory for the Auburn Tigers ever. Most
lopsided game in that series.
What? Yeah. Second time coaches and players use the word embarrassing. I think we would agree with that. And before we go any further, you didn't notice a little set change, Mr. Guidry. At least they're winning. So we moved the LSU helmet from the front.
You know, Rick, I wasn't going to say anything about it.
You noticed.
But look,
right, go
quick scenario, guys. You know, I love this. I love this. I'm upset and I'm hurt because that's not who LSU, that's not who they are. That's not. Defensively, they've got some pretty stout people on defense that should be playing a lot better than what they're playing.
So
now,
put some of it on the players.
Let me give you a quick. Well, you know, the ability.
It sounds to me like he's putting it on.
But the ability is this: put the players in the right place for them to have the best chance at winning. Now that's on the coaches too.
Okay.
You got to perform once you're put there, but at least put me there. Okay.
Okay.
Quick scenario, guys. If this was Nick Saban, do you think this would be happening? Something needs to happen internal. Nick Saban wouldn't put up with this. He wouldn't put up with this.
All
It's
right.
embarrassing.
Okay,
And
it is.
Coach O needs to set Bo down and say, dude, we don't play defense like that here. Look how good we were last year. Come on now.
Good. They weren't great.
They weren't.
But
they were
wait a
pretty
minute, Scooter.
good in the postseason.
Wait a minute.
Yes, in the
they were good based
all
on what we're
year-
looking at now. And
Relatively
it's like
speaking,
it's a continuation each week. It looked like one week you're going to be like, we're going to clean this up. It gets worse. You got guys that can't even line up. Rick, we're 5 games into the year, and you can't line up
You know,
still.
look, there was something, and I don't know if you had it in your report, but I did read. I actually saw it. Maybe it was after that long 99-yard drive that was a backbreaker. Yeah. I think it was one of the big defensive linemen. One of the Auburn guys goes in for a short touchdown run, and he just threw his hands up and started looking around like, "Where are you guys? I can't do it. I can't do it by myself." So it's a gap assignment, out of position. That was indicative of that.
Yeah,
of the day.
I
really
know
was.
the play you're talking about, and a lot of people noticed that.
Everybody did, Scooter.
I don't, Kevin. You say you got to line them up. Isn't it more important that they know where to go once it's snapped?
I think, Scooter, the biggest problem is, granted, up front, can we just say Auburn kind of pushed them back a little bit? Auburn played a hell of an.
Yes, they did.
Auburn has a hell of an offense.
You know,
They pushed them back. Give some credit to Auburn too. Now
You know
it wasn't
what,
all
Mike?
LSU not lining up.
All right, we can argue Bo Pelini. We can argue offense. We can argue who the quarterback is. You know what might be the most disturbing thing about that game? I think Auburn played harder than LSU did.
Scooter, I can't take that from you. I can't.
It was
Being at home,
scoreless.
that helps too.
Not really, not anymore. Scoreless first quarter. To me, neither team looked very good. It was just looked like a column for the bar, 2 average teams.
Yeah.
But once something went wrong, LSU just let it spiral out of control.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I didn't see the leadership of anybody to step up there, like you said. They had guys throwing their arms up in the air.
Pointing fingers. Pointing fingers. Yeah.
And that's indicative of a young team, I suppose.
All right.
But
But guys, let's we can't waste any. I'd be remiss if we can't waste any more time. When it spiraled out of control was the offensive turnovers. All right, the pick that put them on the 4, the scoop and score, and on the young kid out of Ponchatoula, he has to realize that he can get away with that stuff at Ponchatoula High School, bringing the ball up around his helmet.
You can't.
He's 6'6", but once you're in trouble, you got to tuck it and go down.
Tuck it. I totally agree, Rick. And that's
had
just
little
coaching.
potions bouncing around him.
Exactly.
People probably wasn't that big enough to get to him.
So
Auburn had Big Cat.
Exactly, Big Cat. So
Ever known anybody named
and he
Big
learned.
Cat?
You're razzing the LSU defense, and rightfully so, but the offense put them at the 4 and the 3.
The offense didn't help. And the thing about it, too, Rick,
Now,
when
the
you look at the
backbreaker was
offense,
that 99-yard drive.
the
That
offense was
99-yard
behind the
drive was
8
a
ball
killer.
the whole day. I mean, they were behind, and you can't play that well when you're playing from behind, especially on offense. And, guys, I got to say this. The biggest thing that LSU had last year for them was the running game. Clyde.
Yeah.
People don't realize how important he was now.
No.
I mean, when it was 3rd and 6, you gave him the ball because he could get the first down.
Are you buying Orgeron? We couldn't block him.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't block him.
When
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
that's
32
that's
yards
part of
rushing,
it,
you
Rick.
can't block him.
and they don't have a Clyde. It seems
Yeah.
to me these backs. Last week there was a lot of talk about yards after contact, and but guys, it's easy to ankle tackle. Man.
Yeah.
You go back to defense. Talk about formations and coverages and blown coverage. This defense doesn't tackle real well.
No. Everybody's trying to strip the ball, Scooter. Okay?
I don't see that.
Scooter, that's what they do.
I
That's
saw
what gets
that
them
a
in
lot.
trouble.
I did.
That's how these running backs get an extra 5 and
Okay.
6 yards, Scooter. Make the strip if you got a guy that's secured with the ball.
I did see that.
Auburn
Make
was
it thin.
much better tackling team than LSU
Auburn outplayed
was.
them. Auburn outplayed them. I hate to say
And
that,
keep
but Auburn
well, we're
outplayed them.
not talking about a juggernaut here.
No.
This team needed bad
No.
calls to beat Arkansas and Ole Miss.
But when I look at the talent level that LSU has versus Auburn, that should not have been the score. That should not have been the score.
So Auburn gets the turnovers. Auburn gets a 99-yard drive. They go into halftime, make some adjustments, and Auburn comes back out with a 75-yard drive.
Yeah.
Put that on. Put it on the defense.
Yeah.
You got to get them off the field.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
I mean, you got to get them off the field.
You got to give my offense an opportunity to try to get some kind of stability to understand that we can put a drive together and we can get some play. You know, Rick, this the thing is, you don't really know what's working for you on offense because you're not out there that much to do anything. That's what hurt us more than anything.
Critical open week, Alabama. All right, a second open week now. All right, open week this week, and then Alabama.
Let me say this.
Unbeaten Alabama.
I don't think Nick has it in him, but do you know how much of an embarrassment that could be if they don't get their stuff together? That's not the word I wanted to use. That's not the word I wanted to use, though, but you know how much of an embarrassment that can be?
I think Miles Brennan will be back, and I think he'll be healthy enough to
Orgeron was not sure today if he'd be
Rick,
back. I agree with you. I think he will, too. I wouldn't give up on T.J. Finley.
I'm not giving up on him. I'm not giving up on him.
You know, everybody's ready to declare a quarterback controversy when he had a good week.
Yeah.
Well, you know, everybody has good and bad weeks, and he did not have a very. It wasn't just he missed some other open throws.
Yes,
let me tell you, how many freshmen you know around the country would have good games against a team like Alabama? Okay, how many
you don't want to do that?
How many you know? Okay?
Look, keys, you know, in my opinion, you got to get defensive consistency. You got to get the offensive line to block somebody. And you got to get a running game.
When you see the defense, Scooter probably sees it better. When the defense comes to the sideline, it's like nobody's talking to each other. We each go and sit down in our own little bubble, in our own little world. Dude, you got to talk to your teammates. Let's find out what's going on.
2.5 hours up I-10. Take a ride and tell them what to do. Taking a short pause. When we come back, it's time for the blue and gold. We're going to figure out the Saints, and hey, they keep winning. The helmet's right here.
All right,
Coming back in about 2. Stay right there.
SoundOff 60, brought to you by Merchants and Farmers Bank.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable, Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
SoundOff 60 presented to you by Merchants and Farmers Bank for all your personal and commercial banking needs in Southwest Louisiana. All right, the New Orleans Saints, look, third straight win by 3. All right, third straight. In the NFL, you got to get wins, and you especially got to get them on the road, and you got to keep pace with Brady and the Bucs.
You do.
And they should win early this week, Monday night game against the Giants. So there'll be a half game up on the Saints. We'll assume that. So again, you got to stay in it, guys. And
you have to.
Staying in it.
You have to.
You know what? I'm
just
optimistic.
I'm just you know, in years past when we've talked about the Saints.
My hat's off to the Saints.
They're finding ways to win.
They don't have Thomas. They don't have Sanders.
That's what I'm saying.
They're duct taping and spare parting this offensive game plan.
Now, they were probably fortunate that the Bears are offensively challenged.
Ooh,
they are.
How did you pay Nick Foles $20 million?
I don't know.
And the Saints.
They think he's the savior, man.
The Saints defense is leaking left and right, but they do manage to make those couple of big plays a game.
That they need.
That, you know, give them credit for. Now, the Saints offense, I mean, in its current state against that kind of defense, they should have taken total control of that game in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Give the Bears credit. But the Saints gritted that thing out. And what more? 5 straight games the Saints have scored in the final 2 minutes of the first half. 4 of them the final 15 seconds.
Yeah, and that has helped them. No doubt that has helped them. But you have lousy third down conversion rate, and I love Will Lutz. But you can't trot him out there at the end of every dead-gum red zone situation. Too many field goals.
Look.
Way too many field goals. You can win by 3, but you've got to start scoring some touchdowns.
If you get with teams that's going to put a distance between you, field goals is not going to win it.
Exactly. You go down by 14, 16
Saints,
points.
I'm with Scooter. They're grinding it out. They're gritting it out. They're getting it in, man. They're doing what they can to win. But I'm going to tell you, you get a team like Tampa that'll put 14, 21 points up on you.
It's going to be
3
hard.
points not going to win
But
it.
again, offensive rhythm. How does Peyton and Breeze get an offensive rhythm if he doesn't have his guys to get the rhythm? And that's Thomas and that's Sanders.
That's a whole nother story.
So Drew,
that's a whole nother story.
You know, he did not even throw to a wide receiver till midway in the second quarter yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you know who his wide receivers are?
No, you don't.
I don't.
I don't know who they are.
Other than Saquon, Michael Thomas will be back this week.
They need
I think he needs to
be.
You can't give it to Kamara every down.
You can't. Then we're gonna know who's getting the ball, Scooter. If he gets it every down, okay?
They got away with it as much as
and the thing about
Murray.
the thing about it, and the point that Scooter made with Kamara, you don't want to give it to him that much and get him hurt. Okay? We got a few more games. We need this dude.
He leads the NFL in production from the line of scrimmage.
You don't want to get him hurt.
41 is much healthier this year than he was last year.
Yeah.
Much healthier.
But you need that combination
I know.
of keeping the defense honest, and you don't have that right now.
And he got a big.
Because they don't have a deep threat.
I am not throwing up my hands over the Saints like that.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not
throwing out hands up.
It's the NFL.
I'm not throwing out hands up, but you can't keep winning by 3, Scooter. That's all I'm saying.
You can.
You can, but you can't. Somebody's going to get you, Scooter. Somebody's going to get you.
And Brady, he's
somebody's
going to get you.
Losing by 3 every game.
You could be, Scooter.
Did it bother? I thought it was curious that Peyton decided not to run any of the clock down.
I still hadn't figured that out.
I don't know about that.
I don't know what that's about.
Run it down.
Hey, it worked.
It did. He made the kick. I guess it was just, I know my guy's going to make the kick.
You know what I really think?
Overtime.
Peyton, because he's, of course, that came up, and he said, "Oh yeah, I was aware of that." He said, "I was just ready to kick it."
Yeah.
And I think that's really what he did. He said, "This guy's going to make it. I don't want to throw off the rhythm of the game. He's ready to go out there.
Let's go.
I'm not going to throw off the rhythm. Just I'm ready to kick it now."
Yeah, we're going to kick it. And they won in overtime.
Okay.
Look, we like to go off the reservation a little bit, but this Javon Wims, the receiver for the Chicago Bears, how stupid do you have to be if you're a receiver and you're going to slug a guy with a helmet?
Rick,
you catch with your hands.
Who are you going to hurt? What are you going to hurt?
I guess you, but I mean, I
would never do that. I would never do something stupid like that, man.
Was not totally innocent. Apparently,
no, it wasn't. No, it
wasn't.
He
is a world-class trash talker.
Yes, he is.
I guess I'm too much of an old coot to really appreciate that. But that's definitely part of the NFL now.
Yeah.
It is.
The trash talking.
That's the game.
Even, what they say, he grabbed his mouthpiece.
Something.
Not out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It was, stuck in his face.
Gardner Johnson denied early in the week that he spit on Wims.
That's what I believe him there.
So, and maybe that was part of it. But wait, also, did you see the reaction from Jack Rabbit Jenkins when he saw the second punch vis-a-vis Andy Dalton and the Dallas Cowboys getting P-laid?
Yeah.
This kid jumps on this guy. You talk about coming to the defense of your teammate. He jumped on that guy's back. It was hilarious.
It was.
It was hilarious. That's, what is your word? Chemistry. That's where you get that locker room.
That's when you know who you
come to defense of your guys. It was an odd little thing. All right, look. In my opinion, still, your offense rhythm, they get the players back, but I'm still concerned with the secondary. You said it. They make big plays, but they give up big plays. To me, it's secondary and linebacker, and Quan Alexander in this trade before the trade deadline, critical. If he can come in and shore that linebacker up.
What did you think of the forward progress call?
I didn't like it. The fumble, I didn't like
it. Normally, when my guy, what's his name, Pierres or
yes.
What, normally, if he signs off of it, I'll say, okay, I
didn't like
but
the call.
this is one of those deals. I don't know what the rule book says, but I know forward progress when I see it. And that wasn't it.
No, that wasn't.
I mean, when have you ever seen that called when it's just two guys one-on-one?
Yeah.
I got it.
Still struggling back and forth.
Now you're coming to me when it comes to the referee and lousy calls.
Hey,
all right, we'll take a short. We'll come right back with more of the show. Stay right there.
The winner is the dog with antioxidant vitamin C. Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable, Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
All right, welcome back to the show. We want to welcome in an old friend to the show. First appearance for Coach Jeff Wainwright at Grand Lake since going to Grand Lake.
Yes, sir.
All right,
very
so
proud
welcome
to be
back.
Here. Thank y'all.
It's kind of going home for you.
It's very
you're
much
a Cameron
home.
guy
Yeah,
anyway.
I grew up at
Grand Lake.
Yeah, I graduated from South Cameron High.
Yeah.
Played for Coach Lalon. And,
Did you grow up way down?
Oh yeah, I
there
was born
South Cameron
and raised
was?
there in Cameron. Right in the town of Cameron. So
Yeah.
our
Not
family's
up
originally
up
from
the-
Grand Chenier.
I mean, Grand Lake's kind of a city compared to
Well,
Cameron.
we're all rural now.
Everything's
rural.
Let's get into that. Here, you're born and raised in Cameron. Your heart has to break of what the parish has had to deal with, your home area, your community has had to deal with since Rita and Ike, and now this epic storm of Laura.
Yeah, we working back all the way to Coach Lalon, and Coach Lalon during Rita went back, and it was complete devastation for the first time in our generation as far as the younger guys, and they built it back and did what they could, and that's the one thing we talked about. We had our parent meeting after when the LHSA organized when the season would start was going to be, and that's what I told our parents and our players, that we're not doing something that hadn't been done in our parish. We just need to take what Coach did, follow the playbook, and let's do it again. And don't worry about all the other things as far as how we're going to do this and all the other things. It's already been done. It was done in Hurricane Audrey. The South Cameron guys came up and played at Grand Lake, and they combined the team and played then. So this idea of playing after a storm is not a new idea to Cameron Parish
not
football.
For Cameron Parish.
So I was real fortunate, backed by our superintendent, Charlie Lemons, and backed by our principal. And they said, Jeff, if you can coach them, if your house and stuff is stable enough to coach them and the kids want to play, we want you to play. We want to get this community back together. We want to give them Friday nights. And what happens on a Friday night at our ball game is, obviously the ball game's big, but it gives our community a time to kind of meet together and say, hey, I need some help building my fence. I need some help removing this. And because we're so rural, a lot of times the only time they see these other people is at the games. And, hats out to Coach Phelps and Jennings High School for giving us a second home right now. Coach Shaver did it at Barb for Coach Lalon whenever, and you can't do it without another school like that involved. They've taken a lot of weight off of my shoulders, and we have players commuting from all over still coming back in. Got a player living in Orange, Texas, driving in every day for practice. So the amount of sacrifice that our whole ball club has had to have, parents to coaches to superintendent to other football schools in our area, for us to have the opportunity to play has just been tremendous.
Spend just a couple of seconds, Coach, in regards to speak to the resiliency of the people of Cameron, though, after the, you said your generation is Rita, Ike, and then now Laura.
Well, when I went into our team meeting And you're basically looking at, you know, going into the Storm, I think we had about 38, 39 players on the team, solid, you know, that we penciled in on the roster. And get to the meeting, there's about 32 players there and families. Each player there is homeless, from head coach to the lowest freshman, you know. And you just look into the eyes out there, and it was probably the most emotional meeting I've ever been in as a school teacher.
Right.
And you see the resiliency, you see the toughness. And for the first time in my life, I looked out there and I saw true grit. And they wanted to provide football and normalcy from Corona, now the Storm, to their students. And they said, Coach, do whatever you got to do, plan practice whenever you got to plan it. Just make a set schedule, and we're going to get our kids there to play ball. And we haven't had a hiccup.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it hasn't been perfect.
Yeah.
And
credit to you guys. Credit to you.
I
and
had
your
some
staff.
great senior leaders, have some groups organized within the team, and you know we've had the different evacuations and say, hey, look, when the lights go out, when the cell phones go out, as soon as you get a shot, contact your people, you know, and that's how it all started. And each individual group said, Coach, we're in. My group is ready to play.
That's great.
And so
what is the situation with the stadium? Well,
stadium, the school, Grand Lake School itself is in great shape. We're going back to school Thursday. The elementary has been in school now for a week. Everything's going good. We had some roof damage to different places, some water in, but our school is equipped with generators, these big giant generators, and they were able to go in 2 days after Laura hit and start restoring everything with the restoration companies. So they were able to dry it out before the mold and things like that got you know, got a good grip into the school. So that helped out tremendously. And then, you know, from that point, our stadium on the outside is still in really good shape. We have no lights. Goalposts are kind of italicized is kind of how we like to look at it. So our kickers are getting a lot of good work. It's kind of weird when we go to the game and the uprights are straight.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were waiting for the electricity to get turned on back in the community, and like today, they're working on the lights. Our hope is to get a home playoff game for our kids. And the problem with the small schools, and you know, not a whole lot of people know about it, is the restrictions on the seating capacity. Like at our home game, if we were to have a home game right now, we would only be able to give out 130 tickets. And nobody wants to do that for a home playoff game. So us being able to play at Jennings, we were able to have 1,200 people there because it's 25% of their capacity.
Right.
You know, we're able to have it. So we're not sure if we're going to play at home. I told the kids, I said, hey, when we were at Sulphur, we had 17 games on the road. We didn't know, it didn't bother us. Once the ball's kicked off, you're on the road, you're at home. You know, who cares at that point? You got to produce.
We were talking earlier about how many locations have you played? You lost track? 3, 4 different locations? Jennings, Lake Arthur?
Jennings, Lake Arthur, and up at Basile. The odd thing is we haven't played on a Friday night yet. That's the real. We played on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday now, and we're hoping to get a Friday night game.
Now this week you'll have a Thursday night in Jennings against Gaydon.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to get all this straight. You got a little geography circle going on.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but our kids do know. We think we're going to have an opponent every Friday, but you don't really know right now with the Corona because so many missed schedules and the contact tracing. It's bizarre.
This has got since Grand Lake started football. How many years?
Well, we've had 6. I guess we're at 7 or 8 seasons now.
Okay, it's got to be the best team.
This is a very good team.
Yeah, 4-1, as we said earlier in the week.
Yeah, we're 4-1. We've had a good team.
How big a shame would it be it COVID or Laura or who, if this team hadn't gotten to play?
Yeah, it would have been upsetting for our
seniors. Did you see this coming, that this was going to be a good team?
Well, we've had a great offensive line. We knew they were coming back, and we've got some skilled kids right now that are really taking care of the ball for us as far as getting it down. And we're doing the things that young teams do. We're fumbling and stuff like that, but it's all teams are because of the lack of practice, lack of contact. There's a little bit of sloppy play. I think that's why you see the score so high, because we're not tackling as much as we had in spring. You know, football's different right now. It is what it is, but we're happy to be playing.
Tell us about this quarterback. I understand you got a special player.
Yeah, Eli.
First year he's played?
Yeah, this is his first full year playing. Eli Fountain, and I'm playing him all over. I'm playing him at running back. I'm playing him at quarterback. First couple of games this past week against Hamilton, I put him at running back. He's in secondary. He's a good athlete. In fact, he reminds me a lot of Tyrus Davis when Tyrus was playing.
He was a big basketball.
Good basketball player, good baseball player too.
Yeah, got to have the. Before we go, You know, the last time you graced us on this television show, you were at Sulphur High School.
Yes, sir.
How has the transition from the 5A to Grand Lake and going home? How has that transition been?
The thing that I've always tried to teach, whether I was at Kinder or at Sulphur, was toughness. Just, hey, let's get out there, let's put our head down, let's work, let's grind. And that stuff I learned at home in Cameron Parish, in the marsh, building duck blinds, working cattle, hunting alligators, whatever. You see what I'm saying?
So
and so I'm trying to teach Kinder kids, I'm trying to teach Sulphur kids about this, and I go home and I'm speaking the language to tough kids, and they're making me tougher. I had gotten a little soft. So I'm the one that's having to get tough now, but it's fun to coach them, and it's football.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is, and I love it, and just we're giving 100% every day, and kids are getting better, and we're trying to just keep building this program.
Would you have to be from Cameron to coach there?
I don't think so, but it makes it fun to
win. It makes a lot of
and I'll say this.
Speaking the language. The man speaks the language.
I called Coach Dahlon when I got a chance to win my first game in Cameron Parish on the home side, and I said, this really feels good tonight.
Yeah.
Because I've won some games. We played him over there. I was able to beat him one time in Cameron Parish, but I'm on the visitor sideline at Tarpon Stadium, and it didn't feel as good as winning a game at Grand Lake on the home side and being the head coach of a Cameron Parish school. It was really fun. So it's good to be home.
You're the from SoundOff 60. You're the self-appointed by us as the ambassador for Cameron Parish.
Well, I love
you're a good one for the parish.
I love it, and I treasure my role.
Kind of took that mantle from Perry LeLand.
Yeah.
I got a lot of big footsteps to keep up with him.
That would be Jeff Wainwright, head coach of the Grand Lake Hornets, 4-1 going into Thursday night's game against Gaydon. If you're watching our show later on in the week, follow this team through the American Press and us here at SoundOff 60. We're going to keep your eye on it.
Thank you.
I think you got aspirations to go deep in the playoffs.
I'm
going to throw that on you.
No,
let's make a playoff
We
run.
want to make a run.
That would be the Hornets of Grand Lake. Jeff, we appreciate you coming in. All right.
Thank you.
Everybody stay safe. We're taking a pause. We're coming right back. Stay right here.
Yes! When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable, Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
SoundOff 60 presented to you by Solar Supply. They keep Southwest Louisiana and the entire Gulf Coast cool in the summer, warm in the winter. Thank you very much.
And let me tell you,
how'd y'all do with
they're pretty busy.
daylight savings time?
I
change?
remembered.
I didn't remember.
Not remember.
Oh,
I didn't. But you know,
it doesn't matter. You're an hour ahead, so you're not missing.
Yeah, you're not missing nothing. You're right about that.
I didn't remember. How
I didn't have a clue. But your phone, you know, it changes for you.
It does.
I was driving back from Alabama,
thanks for those
and
phones.
I'm thinking, I needed to be on the road. It wasn't until I got in the car that I said, wait a minute, I am on the road. It's an hour earlier than I thought
that would
it
be
was.
fall back in the fall, spring forward in the spring. So at this point, if you haven't changed your clock,
it doesn't even matter.
You're really behind.
COVID screwed up everybody's
everything. You know, half the time we don't know what day it is. Okay, let me just say that.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hey, many thanks.
It's bad.
Does it feel like
No, you don't know. No, it doesn't. It
Close
does.
to Thanksgiving, guys. Hey, many thanks to Grand Lake head coach Jeff Wainwright for joining us.
Good guy.
Really, first time he's been back on the show since going home and taking over the head coach's job with the Hornets at Grand Lake since leaving Sulphur High School. And the Tours just got their first win with new head coach Chris Townsend. It is a good story.
That is
going
really
home to take over a program from his coach that he played under, you know, that whole thing, South Cameron, and you know, going home anyway, not to South Cameron now with Grand Lake. So yeah, it's a great story, and he's. I was being sincere. I think he's a great ambassador.
He is
for the community and for the parish. He really is.
Him a long time.
Educator, coach, and just
good guy. He's a good guy.
Deep rooted in that.
I met him actually through his brother that worked with the parish for 20 years.
Really?
And that's how I've got to know him, was through his brother.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. All right, let's get back on the LSU situation. In particular, the turmoil, and I think that's a good turmoil around the football program. And let's not forget about that still budding turmoil, all right, around the basketball program. That thing isn't over just yet, even though last year
it's not close to over.
And I said last year I thought it kind of was.
No, it's a lot more.
But I don't want to get into the basketball until we get into the basketball season. But let's talk in particular about now reports are that the LSU athletic department is going to come up about $80 to maybe $90 million
Which is
short.
not unusual among these, you know, always you call them the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
That's about right for all the haves.
Yeah, and now you've got layoffs.
Yeah.
And you've got, coaches and staff members being asked to take, 5% salary
Well,
decrease?
some of them weren't asked.
Some of them were. Scooter's right. It's going to happen.
Most of them were told. And LSU has laid off, I think, 8 athletic department members. Not cut, laid off. The only one we know of that they announced or was confirmed was one of the top dogs, Munson.
Yeah.
He really is. He's one of the top assistant ADs there.
I mean, now you see what that monster generates when you talk about funds, Rick.
Now
now you see what it generates.
But
okay.
You look at it, and they can do all of that. But $80 million, that isn't adding up to $80 million.
Yeah.
But,
no.
But with these schools like LSU, I mean, they know they're going to take a big hickey this year.
But, yes.
You know, right now they're working with the assumption that spigot will open back up next year.
It will, Scooter.
And, you know,
it will.
you might have to tighten the belt for another year or two.
It will.
But this will be over one day.
One day.
Things will be back to normal.
One day. This COVID-19 and how it will change our lives going forward for social gatherings, be it concerts or special events and or sporting events, we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope it is next year.
Yeah.
But it may play off. It may be 2 to 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
In regards to having people feel comfortable to go back
and you're right.
into those big arenas.
And that's
now,
key.
LSU being an outdoor stadium, you know, maybe that would play.
It's a little bit different. But
look, this is a big impact. You've got, 25,000 people in the stands? Is that what LSU's putting out there or less?
About 22.
Yeah,
okay.
22, 25.
Let me say this. While we're on
no concessions, no parking revenue. That's, that's a
minimal,
lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Minimal on both, but you're absolutely correct. I will say this. I was at Auburn over the weekend, and Auburn at 25% was less than 20. I think it was 18,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it seemed like more at Auburn than it has these LSU games.
But look at Alabama. You don't think that it's 22,000?
You got to bring out. I'm not
I'm
talking
just
about
saying,
Alabama.
But you got to look at it though. There's a difference in stadiums.
Well, LSU's bigger than Auburn.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like they got 22,000 people in the stands though when LSU played.
What are you saying?
It did seem more like. Now, it didn't sound more like a game because I've been to Auburn enough to know what Auburn's supposed to sound like.
Right.
And particularly where they were kicking LSU's ass,
Okay.
you'd have thought it would have been, earth-shattering, and it wasn't. But it did seem more of a game day feel than I've gotten at the 2 LSU games.
Can you imagine as to what Scooter's saying when you look at schools such as McNeese and Northwestern and Southeastern as to what the stands would look like? Can you imagine that? When you're saying what you're saying about LSU and those schools in the SEC, as to what it sounds like, can you imagine what those schools are going to sound like?
Football, when they get going February 27th, all right, It holds officially 17-5. 25%, you do the math.
Hopefully by February that will be at least 50.
Maybe to be at 50, Scooter. Okay, maybe to be at 50.
So with this financial news and the turmoil and the losing and Bo Pelini's what? Is it $2.5 million for 3 years?
Yeah.
Somebody out there saying maybe he should take a pay cut
look,
about
Rick,
50%. I don't know.
Okay, but you're saying will he last the season? Yes, I think he'll last.
I think
I don't know for sure that, he might get reassigned.
I think he may.
Not within the athletic department, that old rule.
Okay.
But,
You mean on the staff?
Within the
But
staff.
the
The only
thing-
thing is, I don't know who on that defensive staff, would become coordinator.
It's just, when you look at a team that just a year ago won the national championship, and look at us
Seems
now.
like more than a year
I
ago.
don't think that I've seen a team like an Alabama or a Clemson be that bad.
This is probably
bad.
Could this very well be
after winning the national
could this very well
championship?
be the worst comeback year for a
Oh, you don't
defending
have to say
national-
that. Come on now, Rick.
Look, he's saying they're going to have a losing
I got it
season.
in my
I'm thinking
well,
6
they
and
are
4.
going to have a losing season.
See, I'm thinking 6 and 4.
That means they can only lose one more game.
Yeah. I got faith. I think this team.
Dream on.
Well,
You such a Scooter. You just such a.
I think. I think they can do it. All right. But this could very well be the worst comeback year for a defending national champion.
Don't say that, Rick.
I kind of touched on
Don't
that
say
in
that.
tomorrow's column.
Is it?
You could actually go to Auburn
don't
the
say
year
that,
after
Scooter.
Cam Newton and them won the
How bad
national
was it?
championship.
Yeah.
8-5, but worse than it looked.
Okay.
8-5.
LSU destroyed them that year,
All right.
45-10.
Okay.
I don't remember the other schools.
Yeah.
Their rivals, Alabama destroyed them.
Okay.
Georgia destroyed them.
Okay.
Arkansas beat the
Yeah.
hell out of them.
That was after Cam, though, right?
That was after
left.
Cam. That was after
But
Cam.
the
left.
next year,
Yeah.
they opened that season against Utah State. 4 minutes left in the game, they were telling me everybody left. They were down 10 points.
Yeah.
They had to recover an onside kick to beat Utah
If I
State.
recall, you're the SEC historian here.
Yeah.
Gene Chizik was fired 2 years after winning the
2
national
years after
championship.
winning the national
Think about that.
championship.
2 years after he's gone. Gene Chizik.
And what are y'all saying
forced
about
to
Bo?
TV.
And I mean, I understand Scooter saying he's got to stay Kev. They ain't getting rid of him.
Not
Okay,
this-
but
You can't throw in the towel.
but
Not-
wow.
You
I mean,
can't.
but there's a conversation that needs to be had.
I'm sure
It needs
is
to be
being-
had,
yeah,
man.
I'm sure it's being
Because
had.
each week it's the same thing. So somebody's not communicating
All right.
something to this dude.
Hey, amidst all this doom and gloom, reports out of the weekend was they picked up verbal commitments.
Well, that's nothing new.
Sage, what is it?
Yeah.
Sage Ryan, top safety
Yeah.
in the country
Yeah.
out of
He's-
Lafayette
he's-
Christian.
he's good.
I don't follow recruiting to
Yeah.
know that this kid
don't
was
either.
#1 in the country.
Yeah.
And then this kid from St. Thomas More, this Jeff Besh,
Yes.
3-star receiver. So yeah,
They've
I
already
was wondering
committed.
if it was his dad, but you remember there was a Brett Bash that played as his uncle.
Okay.
Is it uncle?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hey,
Scooter.
you want to lighten the mood for Tiger fans? At least they're getting some good recruits.
Man.
Little
But
verbal
is that
commitments right
anything
there.
new? LSU's always recruited.
But
I'm
they're
just-
beating Alabama for these guys.
I'm just
this
trying to
Sage
figure out-
Ryan kid was some looking closely at Alabama.
I'm just trying to
good
figure
news
out
for
Scooter.
Orgeron.
Scooter keep
What?
telling me we're not bowl
It's
eligible.
early? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's
Scooter-
not a done deal
No,
yet.
it's not.
Scooter's
That's
telling
why
me
I
we're
said
not
verbal
bowl
commitment.
eligible. I'm just disappointed, okay?
All right.
You are bowl eligible.
No, I'm saying if it keeps going this, we won't be bowl eligible.
They're going to give you a bowl eligible.
Everybody's bowl
They
eligible.
got their
Okay, yeah.
compliments of the
No
NCAA.
matter
Yeah,
whether you want to
compliment
go
you.
or not.
Yeah,
World
for
Series
real.
when we come back. Masters coming up. I want to get
Yes,
into a little bit of
Masters.
Masters and Houston Open and a little bit
Oh,
more.
you
We'll
need
come
to
back
bring
right
up
here.
there was a bad call. Well, you already cut us off.
Huh? No, what? Bad call for what?
In the Auburn game.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Really?
Stay right here. We're coming right
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations: checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
Preparing a meal, it's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
All right, welcome back to the show. I have been on a soapbox about bad officiating in the NFL in particular.
Sometimes you got to call it out when you see it.
And in college football. And the SEC really is in the crosshairs really in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now they came out with their, last week said, we kind of messed up that Auburn-Ole Miss thing.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really have to tell us that. We knew that.
We knew that. Yeah. And that turned the game in a loss for Ole Miss and a win for Auburn. Remember the Bo Nix turning around, I'm going to spike it deal.
Yeah.
That won the game for Auburn. Okay, so, and now, you brought it up before we went to break, a call that I completely forgot about in the LSU Auburn game.
Yeah.
How bad did they mess this one up? How bad did they mess this one up?
Let's preface, I don't know, it was just puzzling. Let's preface this. By no means blaming that game on this.
No.
But if you remember, I want to say it was in the first quarter, when Finley slid and he was hit, and they originally called targeting.
Right.
And they reviewed it. It was not targeting.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
But it was still a late hit.
It was.
Because he was on a slide.
He would have gotten to stay in the game, but it's still a 15-yard penalty for a late hit when you slide.
They never got there.
And all of a sudden, they wiped everything clean.
And he shouldn't have even left out the game.
And if I recall right,
his helmet popped off.
Yes, and he shouldn't have come out. It
now,
was forced off.
It was forced off. Understanding. When the helmet pops off, if you're in a penalty situation, you can stay in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then really, I thought the very next play when they had to bring Max Johnson in, he threw deep, and I thought it was clearly pass interference.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But, you know.
You're right. And
like I said, I'm normally taken up for SEC officials. That one was just curious to me, is I wonder if they didn't apply it right.
Yeah.
That they wiped off the late hit as well as the targeting as they should have.
I think the late hit should have stayed. It should have stayed because it was a late hit.
The whole sequence was
the whole deal was about targeting.
Amplified by Finley's helmet popping off. You would think I missed that. I thought they did walk off the penalty.
No, they
did not.
I thought they did.
They did not.
Yeah. So all of a sudden they don't get the 15-yard.
They
don't
take
get
the targeting off and
so.
everything. They wiped everything off.
But then they pull the kid out of the game.
He
which,
did.
Who knows?
He shouldn't have never come out.
One play is one play.
Shouldn't have come out though.
Interesting. I don't know, guys. You know,
for the most part, I think SEC officials are better.
I'm with you.
The best conference officiating.
Yeah.
They do a better job normally. Of letting the kids decide the game.
Yeah.
I'm with you
and that's
on
the way
that,
it should be,
But
Scooter.
you know this. From the Pee-wee to flag to high school to college at any level, to in particular the pros, these games are hard to win.
They are.
And when you get a call, this one notwithstanding, but when you get a ill-timed pass interference call like the Saints have had to deal with, that turns games, man.
And you're right.
That
and I think
turns games.
What I think actually
they can
has
do
the
better.
referees to check themselves.
The reviews can do better.
But you have coaches that will call them out and let them know that I got you on watch now, so you better handle your business.
How can
and I think that's what helps a lot of times too, though.
That? They didn't even review the kickoff to Ole Miss. They didn't.
Well, they admitted that's where they
screwed it up.
They messed up.
How can you not review that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
They should have, Rick,
I
and they
have no
didn't.
idea.
They should have.
All right.
And adding to it,
I'm going to be on this for 5 years.
Adding to it, little Lord Lane Kiffin could have, thrown a flag and made them do it.
Yeah.
But he was told by one of the officials, they already looked at it.
That makes it even
wow.
See, that makes it even worse.
That does.
All right. Hey, speaking of bad things, good things. Karma or the baseball guys that the Dodgers won their World Series?
Hey.
I wanted it to go 7. It goes 6 against the Rays.
So what? Explain this to me, Scooter. You're the baseball guy. How do you pull a guy out of a game because you found out his test came back negative? Positive. How do you do that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, how do you pull a pitcher out of the game?
You're talking about Justin
mowing
Turner.
down the Dodgers.
No, but how do you do that when you pull a guy at the game because his test came back?
You got to.
Positive.
You have to. You got to.
But I mean, wouldn't you have known that before the game?
Apparently they did not find
They did
out.
not. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Till that inning.
Okay.
No.
That answers my question.
In fact, if I understood the story right, they were going to pull him off the field in the middle of the inning. Then they decided, well, no, we'll wait till the end of this inning.
Interesting. Yeah. And then he runs out at the end to help celebrate with no mask. I don't know. But the Dodgers won it. Kershaw finally got
Dodgers, you deserve it. Dodgers, you deserve it.
I didn't realize 32 years before the Dodgers have won a World Series.
I did not.
32 years.
You would think they would have won
the
more
Gibson
than that.
home run.
I mean, the LA Dodgers, like, really?
It was 88, the Gibson home run.
Are you serious?
I thought sure they won one or two.
When I saw that too, man, I was like, what?
Hey, kudos for them for winning.
Yeah,
and
man.
The Astros, all the cheating
They deserve
stuff,
it, man.
Maybe
They
we
deserve
can put
it.
that off to the side now that the Dodgers won. Let's go to the NFL. All right, Cam Newton. We talked about Cam Newton. Third straight loss for him with the Patriots. Is this going to end badly? I've come to like Cam Newton. I like what he's doing. Coming out and said, I got to do better.
Yeah.
I'm losing games for these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest Cam Newton
And you know what? He doesn't have a whole lot of talent there
No,
right
he doesn't.
now.
They're
But
slow. They're
he's-
plodding.
Yeah.
But Cam Newton has a whole lot of talent himself.
does.
He
and
does.
I just wonder if this has. Well, I really and truly think
I
one
agree
of
with
the freak athletes of this generation.
Very much
Yeah.
so. Very
And
much so.
Why hasn't he been better?
I don't know.
Injuries.
Why hasn't he made
know.
his teams better?
Injuries. That Super Bowl loss when Von Miller stripped him of the ball.
I know.
And that whole controversy of
I know.
him not doing the press conference. I think that changed him. I do. Let's go to the Dallas.
He's gotta get past that.
I
That's
don't know if
professional.
anybody mentioned this in the national coverage of the Eagles and Cowboys. Two in the same opposing quarterbacks, two former FCS quarterbacks. Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And Ben DiNucci from James Madison.
Yeah.
Now, North Dakota State and James Madison are
had
the upper.
transferred from a bigger program.
But James Madison, but FCS. I think that's pretty cool. Now Carson Wentz, first round pick. DiNucci, 7th round draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys, and they both kind of stuck it up pretty much.
Yeah, they did.
You know, I just found that interesting. FCS quarterback.
Here's what I found interesting. Let's go back to the Saints Bears fight.
Yeah.
Weems, think it is.
Javon or Tavon Weems.
Yeah. Weems from Georgia.
Gardner from Florida.
From Florida. Florida, Georgia play this week.
That's right. That's another big game.
Florida just had, they suspended, I think 6 players from that halftime flight.
Yeah.
At the Florida-Missouri
That
game.
was another one I saw.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Is that for the whole game or just for the first half?
First half.
That was crazy.
Yeah, first half.
Quickly, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
All right. First game starting for the Miami Dolphins. They win.
Yeah.
93 yards passing. Are you convinced he's NFL ready in NFL? I'm not.
What?
I'm
You're
not.
going to base him on one
No,
game?
no. I'm just saying. I've said it all along. I thought Tua wasn't bulky, and I don't think he has the girth.
Yeah.
I love his accuracy.
Yeah.
But I've always questioned his arm strength, guys. But he's accurate as a son of a gun.
But he's
Not
that
big
lefty, though.
enough.
That's what can get a
Not
defense in
big
trouble.
enough. You question
He's lefty.
his arm strength.
My thing.
But he's
accurate.
And a
Wait.
left-handed Drew Brees.
Look,
no.
Let me just say this. Above all of that, can you imagine mentally what this kid is going through? He's in a meeting room with the guy that don't want to help him because he was devoted for no reason at all. I mean, it's a perfect. No, it's not. But just a young guy having to deal with that and play on Sundays? Come on, man.
I just wanted
Give him
to
a
bring
break.
that up. Houston Open this week without
Yes.
Tiger Woods. Next week we'll talk about the Masters.
Yes, we will.
At Augusta.
Masters.
In November.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody
The
stay
November
safe.
Classic.
Yeah, really, a November Classic. Everybody stay safe. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you next
As
time
always.
on SoundOff 60.
SoundOff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.